This podcast contains explicit adult content, mature themes, and candid conversations about sex, dominance, power exchange, and ethical non-monogamy. It is intended for audiences 18 and over only. Listener discretion is advised. The views expressed by our guests are theirs alone and do not necessarily reflect the views or values of the hosts, producers, or affiliated brands. The Bull Brotherhood Podcast is for educational, entertainment, and empowerment purposes only. Nothing in this podcast should be interpreted as legal advice, medical guidance, or psychological counseling. We speak from experience, not credentials. Always practice consent, respect the boundaries of others, and follow local laws. If you're not comfortable with frank talk about sex, kink, dominance, or emotional power, this probably isn't the show for you. But if you're ready to step into your masculine edge and embrace a lifestyle that demands mastery, welcome to the Brotherhood.
Welcome to the Bull Brotherhood Podcast, where we talk power, pleasure, and the art of dominance in ethical non-monogamy. This is not your average lifestyle podcast. This is for men who lead, men who master, and men who leave a lasting impression. If you're here, you're not just curious. You're ready to elevate. So to all the bulls, hotwives, stags, and open-minded explorers, we see you. Let's go.
Welcome to the Bull Brotherhood, a podcast dedicated to explaining what mastery of being a bull and sexual mastery of the couples and our perspective on the lifestyle. And we're always going to have Brian Morgan, who is our master bull, and Socrates, who is a perpetual student. So Brian, say what's up to the people, man.
Good evening to all the couples, hotwives, cuckolds, and unicorns out there. This is B. Morgan, aka the Sigma Male, coming at you. Welcome to be here.
Yeah, so we're really excited. This is our pilot podcast episode where we kind of introduce ourselves and talk about what our mission is. So Brian, what's our mission here for the Bull Brotherhood? What are we trying to accomplish, brother?
What are you doing, Socrates? The Brotherhood is about bringing together quality men, like for us to teach, mentor, and give them the skills, the ability to come into a hot wife relationship and take sexual mastery, right? Take sexual mastery over another man's wife, i.e. a hot wife, at their invitation.
Yeah, I love that, especially that part about at their invitation. Because people don't really understand that concept. So we're going to be getting into a lot of different things. We have a lot of subjects we're going to be covering. We're just going to be doing it from a bull's perspective and those of us that want to master it. So Brian, talk to them about what sexual mastery is. What does that mean in the ethical non-monogamous space?
Okay, let me tell you what my definition of sexual mastery is, Socrates. When I think about sexual mastery, I think about the like the types of bulls that there are. Okay, really, to me, there are like three types of bulls. Okay, you have the dominant bull, you have the alpha bull, then you have the BBC bull. And I'm gonna break down all three right quick and tell you how mastery comes in with this. When you have the dominant bull, like the dominant bull is like a bull who like typically takes the lead in the hot wife relationship. Okay, and the hot wife usually becomes submissive to that bull's needs. You have the BBC bull. That BBC bull is like really the more popular type of bull, because you see that bull at like your events called splash mochas and the other lifestyle events. And this guy, he's usually there. He's selected by the hot wife or the couple because of his physical attributes,
Mm-hmm.
i.e. the size, the look, the body, and then of course that comes, the sexual pleasure that's received after that. And the husband may be used in some form of like a cuckold role, right, with some form of like humiliation. The alpha bull, which that's what I am, and that's a bull who like forms not only a powerful sexual connection with a couple, but it's more than just the physical. It's the emotional and the mental needs of the hot wife. Okay, they're met, as well as the husband. You know, I form a connection with that husband to the point of where he is in time. That husband can either be there when I see the hot wife, or they can be at home in another state, and he trusts that hot wife with me down here in North Carolina. So when you add all of that together, that is what we want in a quality bull. That makes up a quality bull to me. If you're all three of those, okay? Because when I'm out here, my role is not to be a sexual partner. My role is to be a pleasure provider. That's what I call myself, a pleasure provider. Not only the physical, but also the mental, the emotional. You know, I want to make sure that every encounter turns into, I want to tune into the hot wife's needs and their desires rather than my self-gratification. You understand what I'm talking about? So that's what my version of sexual mastery is.
Right.
How do you view it?
Well, you know, as a perpetual student, I come from the lens of principles. So what I love about
As only Socrates can say. Go ahead, brother.
they don't call me that for a reason. We'll get into that.
I love it.
So the principle of just mastering everything that makes a bull, and everything that makes the bull give the couple an amazing experience. And whether it be a couple or a unicorn, or even interacting with other people in this dynamic, that really might fall in our purview or not. So to me, it's just sitting down and mastering all of those skills, your mindset and your perspectives, so that you can be a quality bull. And that's what we're going to be about. This is going to be about having life skills that we use in this lifestyle. It's going to be about people, as long as you're over the age of 18, you know, in this lifestyle, that want to be better in general. And then we take these skills and we use the ethical non-monogamy space, and specifically the cuckold and hot wife space, to master those skills and take them to another level that, you know, monogamy doesn't do. So Brian,
couldn't have said it better, brother.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. It means I'm learning from the masters. Tell us, you know, that's what we're doing.
Exactly.
Tell us about you, man. Tell us about yourself and your experience, and how did you come to be in this lifestyle and be such a powerful force in this lifestyle?
Well, brother, let me tell you, I often say I was born again or christened while being stationed in Germany. Met a lady when I was 26, 27 years old. She was 48, and she brought me into this world. A lot of times I don't say lifestyle because this is my life. This is what I live 24/7. And, you know, when your family knows who you are and what you do, there's no reason for me to like not use my full name. Even though I do go by Sigma Male, and I'll explain what that is in a few minutes. But I was brought into the world overseas, and when I got into this, we didn't have all of the acronyms and the terms. We didn't know what a hot wife was then. We didn't know what a bull was, or a cuckold, and everything like that. But we just referred to them as, just simple black and white parties. And like I said, I was brought into it over there, and through the years, starting off like anybody else. When you're in your 20s, what do you think? You think you're a porn star,
Right.
so you're trying to go out here and you're trying to nail everything there is. When you meet a couple, but as you get older, you learn that hey, I need to learn the couple, right? I need to be focused on that couple, like 110%. Not just come in there and think, okay, just because I get introduced and there's some, physical attraction there, chemistry there, that, hey, I'm about to, go and have sex. This is not about sex. Being a bull is not about sex. Being a bull is about blending into an already, loving relationship. And here again, through patience and time, learning everything there is to know about that couple that they feel, comfortable telling you.
Right.
And a lot of times they end up, when they do feel comfortable telling you about things, they're able to just, here again, they're just completely comfortable. So they tell you, more than just like how they got into the life and, et cetera, et cetera. They start talking about like family and what this life means to them and how they wish they could be more open and just a whole bunch of things. So it's like I said, this is more. I'm considered more of like the boyfriend type
Right.
of bull. You know what I mean? I end up being kind of like the boyfriend type to a whole lot of couples.
And B, I love this because, these are a lot of things we're going to be talking about in the future, y'all. Like, we're going to have fun with this. We're going to say some controversial shit because we're just going to stand on business with it. And
We're not going to pull any punches.
We're not gonna
pull any punches.
Yeah.
No.
And we're going to give you some places to contact us and reach out to us and ask us questions and even be a part of the show if you like. But for the most part, this is going to be about how to master this lifestyle, and especially for bulls. Now, I want to get into me. So I am Socrates. Now, Brian Morgan gives his real government name.
Government. Yes,
He's proud of it. His family knows, and we love that. I'm not doing that, and at least not for now. And the reason why is because, I'm a professional in a very conservative state, and I am a public figure. And right now I just want to keep that anonymity. I will be coming out in the future, as well as my wife, and we'll let the world deal with that. And when we can handle those situations and whatever comes out about it. But we love this lifestyle so much that, I just put on a pseudonym and, put this information out to the people. I go by Socrates because one time I was sitting around with a bunch of our friends, and it was a bunch of lifestyle people, but we were just hanging out and doing vanilla stuff. And I was sharing my input on a subject matter, and one of the hotwives was like, "Man, you're just so smart. You're kind of like Socrates with this shit." And I was like, "Oh, okay. I like
What a
it."
compliment. What a compliment.
It was. I'm humbled by it. I love the Socratic method, so I ask a lot of questions. For those who don't know, the Socratic method is a way of getting people to come to their own conclusions by listening to them and really getting to know them. So that's where that name comes. I've been in the lifestyle for 8 years. The first 5, I really don't count because I was really uneducated about this lifestyle. I was in a community that I call them half and halves. And it's not a derogatory term. They were literally half lifestyle and half vanilla people. And they approach lifestyle more of friends and events are more important than play. And so there's nothing wrong with that. It just didn't work out for me. It wasn't a good space for me. And at the time I was with someone who really wasn't sure she wanted to be 100% in this lifestyle. So I'm in it, I'm in it 100%. And we divorced and for other reasons. And I was a bull for a year until I met my wife. And I listened to great podcasts like O Faces and Keys and Anklets and a few other podcasts that talked about this lifestyle.
Brothers of the Brotherhood.
Brothers of the Brotherhood. Exactly. And these brothers hit me to the game a lot. I listened to every podcast and get my hands on and learned how to approach women, how to approach couples. I learned everything. And we wanted to do this podcast to pay it forward. So that's a little bit about me. You're guys going to hear a lot more about our stories and things that we're going to be doing in the future. And with that being said, Brian, what can they expect from us in the future? Like, we're going to hit them upside the head, bro. We're going to come out strong.
Well, let me say this before we dwell on that. Ladies and gentlemen, you hear me say that I call myself the Sigma male. I know there are people out there right now that are saying, what the hell is a Sigma male? Okay. Well, let me tell you, about the male archetypes. The alpha male, the beta male, the gamma, et cetera, et cetera. Well, the Sigma male falls in that 1 percentile of the male archetype. If an alpha male is symbolized by a lion, the king of the jungle, then the Sigma male is symbolized by a tiger. and equally as powerful, but the sigma male is really referred to as the introverted alpha. We roam without a pack. All right. Oftentimes we are looked at as the lone wolf. Successful. We're successful, but we lead with the voice of silence. We don't talk a lot. We don't talk about it. We be about it. We show it. And here again, oftentimes, like I said, successful, good looking, dominant, influential loners. We set our own rules. Don't follow the lead. There is no lead. We lead by example. Never ever dramatic. Always clear headed. Always calm, composed. We have a rule: give respect and take respect, and we live by that rule. Sigmas are in the hot wife lifestyle. That sigma male puts that effort into their mission, and that mission is to get to know that couple through and through. And when other bulls see that inspires those bulls to step up their game. So that's what a sigma male is, in other words. Hope I didn't talk too long right there.
No, that's all we got on the show, brother. So with that in mind, I think I'm glad you did that, because that is important for people to understand. We are coming from a sigma male perspective. And I call Brian Morgan my uncle. In the Black community, when we call somebody unc, that don't mean that he's your parents' brothers or sisters. It means somebody is an elder in our community that we respect, that's putting us younger people up on game. And I'm not much younger than Brian, but and when it comes to his over 20 years of experience and my, I want to call it the last 4, he is definitely a senior to me. So one of the things that we're going to be talking about is, our perspectives on the lifestyle. Everybody has their own perspective, and there's a lot of different ethical non-monogamy podcasts out there, and speaking on whatever they think the lifestyle is or should be, and what their paradigms are on what this space is about. And that's all we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about, what a quality bull is, right? We're going to be talking about everything from, how to present yourself and how to take care of yourself, to how to approach couples and single women, and, what to do. And Brian, I don't want to steal that thunder. So can you share with people?
Go ahead.
I like the way you say it better. I think you said claim, train, and something else. I want you to talk about that, because that's going to be a big part of what we're going to be discussing in the future, and the direction we're going in.
And here again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about myself when I say this. When I meet a couple, the first thing that I do, I think about 3 things. If I was the husband that is eventually going to turn over his wife to me, I do 3 things. I want to do 3 things with that wife. Okay. A, I want to respect her. B, I want to, and then B, I want to love her. Love her meaning not only the physical, but also, like I said, the mental and emotional. I want to know what makes you tick. Ladies, I want to know what makes you tick. Not just what's down there between your legs, but I want to know what's between your ears. Okay. So respect, protect, and love. Those are 3 things that I follow. And well, in order for me to get to that point, once I make that connection with the husband, which we all know, quality bulls, you should already know, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to take place if there's not a rapport and a respect between yourself and the husband, first and foremost. That is paramount to me. That's paramount. But once we get that, and that may take the first meet, if you're lucky, or it might exactly right. And it might it might take 10 meets before you ever even think about something, or sex is even mentioned. All right. But hey, through patience and time, and it will happen through patience and time, and through open and honest communication between all three parties,
Mm-hmm.
all three parties in the end. But at first, when you start, gentlemen, please, when he introduces his wife, of course, yes, you make the proper introduction. If they're huggers or kiss on the cheek or something, be respectful and do that. But then turn all of your attention, in my opinion, to that husband.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, find out what the couple's dynamic is. And here again, you're gonna have to blend in with that dynamic. Yes, you do tell them your do's and don'ts also. You do tell that. But that comes a little bit later on after you find out everything about them. And once he gets comfortable with you and you develop that rapport, develop that friendship. I mean, hell, like, it's nothing wrong with them texting him every now and then. Just say, hey man, I'm just, thinking of you guys. Just wish you guys a wonderful day. That's it. That means a lot though to them, because they go back and they're saying, well, damn, he's actually trying to like really get to know us.
Right.
Not just get inside the wife's pants, but he actually wants to get to know us. Guess what, man? The dinner tonight, just on a whim. See what he's doing, go out to dinner. Eventually, when it does turn sexual, okay, and that doesn't necessarily mean that intercourse is involved, but maybe she gets you're out to dinner and then she gets very, very comfortable. She's sitting beside you. She's sitting close to you. She may touch you, rub you, hold your hand, etc., etc. Then you will know, that quality bull will know then, okay, now it's time to take it up a notch. Okay. The other three things that I want to do eventually is I want to claim her. After you claim her, you train her. And when you train her the right way, you're going to eventually, you own her. You're going to own her. And that means not only owning her, but the couple is yours. The couple becomes yours. You get what I'm talking about right there?
Yep, I totally get it. And see, y'all, that's what we're gonna get. So we're gonna be talking about. He's hitting you on the head already, y'all. We're gonna be talking about all part of this stuff. I'm excited. I just want to go over some of the titles that we're looking forward to. So you're gonna look at us talking about what the lifestyle is from our perspective, what compersion is. What's the different types of cuckold couples that you really encounter in this lifestyle, right? What are the different types of bulls and how they're interacting? So we're going to be talking about a lot of these subjects. And one of the things I love about what we're doing, B, is that we're going to have skill sets that even vanilla monogamous people can use, because we're dealing with human beings, you guys. That's the thing. One of the things that really frustrates us in the lifestyle is people outside of this thing treating us like we're not human beings. We understand the questions about, well, what do you guys do about, disease, and how do you handle, how much time do you guys have? You guys seem like you're doing this all the time. You don't have time to do anything else. How do you manage your time? Well, we understand those questions and we will definitely address those here. But guess what, people? We're just human beings, the principles of communication and understanding and getting to know people, being interested instead of interesting. That's what we were talking about. Being really, truly interested in the couple and what their lives are about.
I love the way you just said being interested and as well as interesting. I have several ladies, and I won't say, where they work or anything like that, but I have several ladies that I know that they have told me, we are living vicariously through you. We wish that we had husbands that we could discuss this about. I mean, all five of them would love to like dive into this world. But here again, though, they are so afraid. Communication. You don't know what your spouse might say if you just have an open and honest, thought, or an open and honest, conversation. This world is so wonderful because I never ever, when I'm talking to people, if people say, well, Brian, tell me about your life, I will quickly come back and smile and be like, you really want me to tell you about my life?
Right.
And then they look at it and like, okay, what do you mean by that? And I would tell them, well, first of all, I lead an alternative lifestyle called hotwives. And then they're like, some people already know what it is, but they've never met anybody who actually lives it. And then some people will be like, well, what is that? And by the time I explain what hot wifing is, cuckolding is, what I am, a bull, oh my goodness, brother, you should see this, the look on their face.
Right.
You know, can we discuss this more? Like, maybe not where we're at, because we're in a public place or something, but can I call you? Can I email you? Can I do this? So this is something that needs to be told. Very true. Not only to just bulls and to hot wife couples, but to just vanilla couples also, who may be going through that, hey, we've been married X amount of years and, the fires burn out and we want to try something else, but we just don't know how to, to talk about it, or we don't know what it is, et cetera, et cetera. So ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your hats. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of different things. And like I said, we are bulls, but at the same time, like Socrates said, we are human beings. So we're just going to let it all hang out. Don't get offended, if some things may go to the left a little while. It's just our opinion. Because here again, like Socrates said, I've been in this thing 30 years. Okay, for 30 freaking years. So, I know what I'm talking about. He knows what he's talking about. He calls himself a young buck, but he's not a young buck. He's been in it. You can be in it 4 years, but he's a fast learner. He's a very, very fast learner. I wouldn't be calling him nephew if I didn't love him, right? So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. Continue, Socrates.
Yeah, that's it. You guys, so, this is our intro. Our first episode will be on what the lifestyle is according to the Brotherhood. And we will be discussing all of these things and more, along with guests and special appearances. We're definitely going to be showing up at Splash Mocha. We'll talk about what Splash Mocha is and, interviewing people and, having the Brotherhood on and, that you're going to meet in the future. So look out for us. We'll give you all of our contact information in a future episode or in the show notes. And we just want you guys to know to look out for it and be ready, because, we're going to hit this thing by storm, and we're going to, really bring our talents to bear and what we view as making a quality bull and improving this community. So, B, did you want to say anything in closing?
I think you just said it there, my brother. Again, this is new for me. I haven't talked this much all my life, to tell you the truth. But I am certainly looking forward to us, having our podcast, having our discussions, bringing on other couples, bringing on other singles, as well as, like Socrates said, the brothers of the Brotherhood. So, in closing, this is B. Morgan, aka the Sigma Male, signing off, and I will end it like this: to my husbands and cuckolds out there, good night, and to my ladies and hot wives, good morning. Till I see you again.
All right. And this is Socrates, and aka the Perpetual Student. And yeah, we're going to hit you in the mouth. Just get ready for it. We're excited, man. All right, you guys have a nice evening and take care.
Good night.
Oh yeah, claim the mind, train the body, on the soul, deep connections built on trust. Let's all go from conversations to the passion that we hold. This brotherhood's for men whose stories need to be told. This brotherhood's for men whose stories need to be told. You'll say it loud. This is who we are, bold, confident and seductive, dominant and classy. We stand tall, never fall. Bull Brotherhood, luxury untold.